It is absolutely hammering down outside. So we've got another wet day today, and it got me thinking, what do bricklayers actually earn? I'm going to tell you. Before I do, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the other side of the intro. How much do bricklayers actually earn? I hear people talk a lot about, God, £200 a day. Woo! That is the going rate around our area, right? We're based in Berkshire. The going day rate for a good bricklayer is around the £200 mark. You will get a little bit more if you are good at your job, if you're reliable, if you're in every day, if you drive. You can warrant a little bit more. We pay ours a little bit more, but we do a lot of prestige stuff, so we need people to know what they're up to. As a rule of thumb, if you are working on a housing site in Berkshire, around this area, you're looking at about 200 quid a day. Now, a lot of people listen to that and they think, wow, 52 grand a year? No, is the answer to that. It's not 52 grand a year, and I'm going to tell you why. You've got to take off at least 10 days to allow 2 weeks for Christmas, right? That takes you down to 50 grand a year. If you are in every single day and you do not lose an hour, the reality is that doesn't ever happen. I've been laying bricks 19 years, nearly 20 years actually, and that's never ever been the case, right? I look back over my old SA302s. So for those of you who don't know, an SA302 is, we have to file a tax return at the end of every year because we're self-employed. An SA302 is the figure that you earned that year. I look back over mine. Granted, it was a while ago and the money was different. I never earned more than 35 grand as a self-employed bricklayer for somebody else. The money's gone up since then. So my personal opinion is, and obviously we pay subcontractors as well, it's about 40k a year. And the reason for that is there's so many moving parts to earning money as a self-employed bricklayer. The weather is the obvious one. It's a massive one. It's the reason that I'm not on site today. It's the reason that I'm making this video today. We look back over the diary of last year, or the last 12 months. We've lost 6 days due to rain. We've lost 3 days due to cold weather. So bricklayers can't work unless it's 3 degrees and rising. So all the in the winter it's tricky. January, February, we have to work whenever we can. But there was 3 days that it didn't get above like -2, I think it was, or 0 degrees. So they were write-offs completely. And we were winded off 2 days because we had really bad wind, so we couldn't work in that. Because if you build your walls up, the wind picks up, they blow over. We're not up for that. So winded off, froze off, rained off. I think there was 1 snowy day as well, which again falls into the cold. On top of that, you've got a lot of other moving parts with materials not being delivered on site, lead times being absolutely massive at the moment because of the way the economy is. You have got scaffolders not scaffolding when they say they're going to. You have got, no offence to any scaffolders by the way, I appreciate you guys have got workloads on just like we have. You have got the forklift getting a puncture and not being able to lift any gear up onto the scaffold. We've had that numerous times over the years. You have got, what else have you got? On top of that as well, you've got to factor in that not every rainy day is from 7:30 till 4:30, right? A lot of the time, you might go into work and do an hour's work, and then it rains. And then it rains for 2 hours solid, and then it stops. As a company and as an individual, actually, as a self-employed tradesman, that's on you to decide whether you stick it out or whether you go home. Right? A lot of the time, bricklayers think that's in for the day, I'm going to go home. If you go home, you don't get paid. As a self-employed bricklayer, you only get paid when you're on site laying bricks. Alright, there's no holiday pay, there's none of that stuff. You literally get paid when you're on site with a trowel in your hand laying bricks. So on top of those days that I've already mentioned that we've lost, you've got to factor in hours lost as well. A lot of the time in January and February, if it's cold overnight, which it usually is, it might not get up to 3 degrees until say 10:30, until the sun comes up. in which case we'll say we're starting work at 10:30 and we'll go in for then, which means you've lost 2.5, 3 hours every day for a week potentially if it's cold all week in the evenings. So there's a lot of moving parts to earning money as a self-employed bricklayer. If you are in every single day, you're not in the Monday club. For those of you who don't know what a Monday club is, it's when you go out on the steam, on the sauce, on a Sunday night and you don't turn up for work on a Monday. If you are in every single day, you stick it out, you sit and wait when it's raining, you sit and wait when it's cold, you know, if you're in every day, you're consistent, you're reliable, you don't go home at the first opportunity. I personally think you'll earn between 40 to 45k, but that is at a push on a day rate in our area with what's being paid at the moment. I fully expect money to come down as well, money to drop, because obviously there's a little bit of a pinch coming. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but yeah, there's a lot of things that need to go right for a bricklayer to earn good money. The biggest one is the bricklayer's attitude. If you've got the let's go home, let's get to the pub attitude, you know, you're probably looking at 30 to 35k, best case scenario. Like I said, my SA302s were 27, 29, 35. Then I set the brickwork company up and it's completely different. I'm going to do a totally different video on how to set up a company and how to navigate the tax situation when you set up a limited business. I speak to so many bricklayers that want to set up, that think it's a great idea, and it is. I love it, do you know what I mean? But it isn't for everybody. But navigating PAYE, you know, paying tax, you know, do we pay our own tax? Did the company stop our tax first? That's a whole minefield. On a side note as well, if you are a self-employed bricklayer or hod carrier, you are not allowed to pay your own tax if you work for a contractor like us. So if you sub to somebody like us, we have to pay your tax first, right? So that £1,000 a week that you're thinking, oh, that's handsome. Take 20% off of that. We're going to pay you your cleared money. So for example, you get a full week in, £1,000, we pay you £800, and then we pay your £200 to the tax man, all right? And then you put your tax return in at the end of the year, and the tax man sorts the rest of that stuff out. So you're not allowed to pay your own tax as a self-employed tradesman subbing to somebody else, unless you've got gross status. Again, that'll be in the other video. I'll do that next week or you know, in the next few weeks. If you are looking to get into bricklaying and you're thinking, I'm going to earn loads and loads of money, there's good dough to be earned in construction, that is for sure. If you are reliable, consistent, very good at your job, if you are good at your job, you will always have work. I say it all the time. That is a fact. If you are all of those things, and you drive and you work with the subby and not against them, and people want you around, the chances are you will earn good money out of it. And in this current climate, I reckon about 40 to 45k at a push. You're looking at the 40 grand mark in my opinion. That's it really, that's it. But if you ain't got your trowel in your hand, you ain't earning money. It's as simple as that. If you've got any questions, drop them below in the comments. I'm really keen to make content that you guys want to see and you guys want to watch. We've got a lot of combined experience within the company, so we can give you absolute value on whatever you want to learn and whatever you want to know about construction. As I said, I'm very keen to do business videos as well, and tell you guys how to set up construction companies, how we operate our construction company, how we market, how we network, how we deal with customers, how we deal with site agents and developers and whatever else. That stuff is all coming. I'm just very aware that, you know, people think bricklayers earn a lot of money, and the reality is many times we go to work and have to come away through factors that are out of our control. That's the game we're in. That's the path we chose, or I chose, and it is just part and parcel of it. Like I say, any comments, drop them below, and I'll see you guys next week. Like, subscribe, share, all that jazz, and I'll see you soon.